is America. You have the freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want to say. Why is it that my white friends don't have that same right?
I'm not about to hop on here and talk about anything that doesn't directly affect me or directly affect the people in my group. Why is it that white people always feel like they gotta put their 2 cents into something? Why y'all always gotta add y'all unseasoned meat situation? Why? Like, I'm just saying, like, I really don't get it. Like, why do they want a say in it? Why does it matter to you as a person who wants to speak out so bad that people are gonna drop down your throat? It's a free country, right? Because it's not their place. That's the point. It's not their place. We don't comment on their affairs. I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. And yes, change of scenery. We are in my living room. It is currently the 4th of July, and my living room is probably the only spot in my house that is pretty much soundproof due to the screen door. There is so much going on outside, fireworks, barbecues, all of this shit that I am not partaking in, okay? Juneteenth it is. And today we are going to be reacting to the officer Tatum, I think it's Tatum. And you guys have been sending me his videos for such a long time. If I'm not mistaken, I think he is a black conservative Republican type of dude. And apparently y'all want me to drag him. Yo, listen, people have been sending me shit forever. Recently, he posted a video about 3 weeks ago that went viral, so I'm going to be reacting to that. Enough with the anti-white narrative. Now, just to give you guys a preface, even though I am a black woman, clearly I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I am not nothing. I am the Mademoiselle, and I have my own opinions about any and everything that you can think of. I believe bits and pieces of everyone's beliefs, whether that be religion, politics, whatever it is. I am not very linear on anything when it comes to most of my beliefs. That's because I believe that there is some truth and some validity to a lot of the things that people have been brought up to think, if that makes sense. Like, I don't believe everyone should be Christian, or everyone should be Judas, or everyone should be Jewish, or everyone should be Muslim. Like, I just don't. I believe that there's some truth, okay? I don't believe everyone should just be straight Republican, straight Democrat, straight socialist, straight Green Party. Like, I'm very, very, like, melting pot with a lot of my opinions. And I also don't degrade or, like, jump on people for their opinions so long as the opinion is not disrespectful. If you're gonna disrespect me or anyone else that doesn't need to be disrespected, that's when I start getting real crazy. But yeah, I have a lot of conservative friends. I have a lot of friends that you would be shocked that I'm friends with just because of my channel. But if you know me personally, and if you've been watching literally from day one, you would know that I'm a very, very avid supporter of other people's beliefs, as long as they do not disrespect me. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, get your merchandise. Everything you need is down in the description or in the link comment down below. You guys want to see more of my house, or if you guys want to see different parts of my house, I can film in different parts of my house. I also started a vlog channel, and in this vlog channel, it's going to be more of my personal life, recipes, vlogs, my advice videos. Everything's going to be on there. Everything you need is going to be down in the description or in the pinned comment down below. Let's see what people upset about, because I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna know. Like, let's see. I don't know. Maybe he is saying something disrespectful. I'm getting comfortable. I'm getting real comfortable over here. Okay, look, I should got my blanket. It's a little chilly in here.
I've had enough.
Okay.
This video is brought to you by the Tatum store.
Energy.
Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this.
Okay.
This anti-police, anti-white rhetoric needs to come to an end.
Okay.
I have had enough. I've had enough. I made a video earlier about my son getting a notification on his EA Sports Madden game talking about Black Lives Matter and oppression of black people, which is an opinion by some. It's not verifiable, unequivocal facts, but yet they push it on young people. And then one of my good friends, who happened to be white, and the funny thing is we have the same last name.
Alright, I need to pause. Y'all probably got the same last name because his ancestors probably enslaved yours. But anyhow, alright. I could agree with a lot of it. At the same time, it's like, he said he's had enough of the anti-police, anti-white rhetoric, right? I'm also tired of that because I believe that a lot of people are being villainized and being targeted for absolutely no reason. But in retrospect, we're also tired. We're also tired of being denied opportunities. We're tired of being beat, killed, harassed, or discriminated against for absolutely no reason. So at this point, there are a lot of people out there who just believe everyone who has caused us to have these problems now need to reap what they have sown. Which, I mean, depending on who you are, you may think that this is a good thing, a bad thing, detrimental, positive, whatever. Okay, that's just your opinion. Whatever you think about it is whatever you think about it. My thing is, it is not okay to, like, I guess, gaslight people by saying, like, oh, you know, this needs to stop, and, you know, the whole oppression thing, there's no facts behind it. There's no facts, I guess, if you're talking about like statistical type of fact. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about when he means facts, because it's very clear that a lot of black people get discriminated against, and people of color in general get a lower end of the stick when it comes to certain shit. However, I am a firm believer of you should never let anything stop you. You should keep going. You should keep pushing. But I'm also aware that for a lot of people, it is not their strong point. Being resilient is not a thing for everybody. Being strong is not a thing for everybody. Being motivated, having support is not a thing for everybody. I understand not everybody is me. So that's why I would see how people would get upset by that comment, because it's like kind of dismissing a lot of the issues that a lot of black people do go through, and dismissing the ideology that a lot of people in general have about systematic racism as a whole, basically pushing them back and oppressing them and stopping them from being where they're supposed to be. As far as the whole companies pushing out, the situation is very annoying. I definitely 100% agree with that. I don't understand why now it is that these companies want to come out, talk about something.
Oh, we are no longer an institution that, you know, will tolerate racism.
Bitches, 2020, y'all now not tolerating racism. Get Momo, okay? Get Momo. Fuck out of here, bro. Like, that's ridiculous. I don't want to hear it. Like, at this point, if you didn't like us, you was never for us, don't be for us now. I'm a very keep that same energy type of person. Like, I don't care what done happen. My tune don't ever change. I don't see for what. Like, I feel like a lot of these companies just trying to save face. They're trying to save capital, because we put our money into a lot of these companies' pockets, and if they don't show solidarity, a lot of black people aren't gonna buy it, which is bullshit. There's plenty of black people that's still gonna buy most of this shit. Okay, so I don't even understand the point. Y'all, this video won't be long as hell. Get your snacks, because I already know.
Together, and he showed me on the app, the Strava app, that you just upload your rides to. Everybody have a good time. You like people's stuff. If you see their rides, they're impressive. Pro riders are on there. Everybody's having a good time. Why on God's green earth do they feel they need to give an advisory about how they've been a racist organization all this time?
Yeah,
and that black people need special treatment, and you need to give us handouts, and worried about black athletes. Listen, man, as a black man in America, and I've been black for 33 years, I am sick of the pandering. I'm sick of the false equivalence. I'm sick of people painting the picture like I am less than in my own country. This country belongs to me just like anybody else. I have never...
Pause. All right. I could agree with this to an extent. I personally have said this before on my channel. I'm tired of black people and people as a whole making it seem like all black people have such a disadvantage and this, that, and the third, and they can't do anything, and like somehow we're handicapped. We are not handicapped. We are discriminated against. Okay? There's a difference. But you can believe the world is yours. You can believe that you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, but still recognize that there's a lot of people out there who are not as fortunate as you and may not get to your level because of their color of their skin, where they are from, and their economic downfalls. In this respect, it's like, yeah, I agree. I don't like the whole pandering. I don't like the whole people trying to only support me because I'm black. I don't like people only trying to like give me jobs because I'm black. I don't like that. That shit really bothers me. But at the same time, I recognize that a lot of us do have a disadvantage because of the color of our skin. But that's the thing. There's a lot of black people who will never feel that. You guys could be mad about what he's saying or about what anyone says in regards to this, because you probably didn't experience it that way. Everyone speaks from experience. Everyone speaks from, you know, opinions most of the time. If you're someone that never experienced racism, discrimination, or anything like that, or never perceived something as that, you cannot go and turn around and try to force someone to think that. Like, perfect example, I talk about colorism all the time. most of my closest friends, literally, all of my best friends are dark skinned, with the exception of one who's white. And every single one of my dark skinned best friends told me that they've never experienced colorism. And they never thought about colorism being a thing until they watched my videos. Can you believe it? And a lot of my friends are older than me. So that just goes to show you, like, some people just don't experience certain things that all black people go through. Just because someone's black, do not just look at them and think that they have the same beliefs or that they have gone through the same things you've gone through. Some may be able to relate, but some may not be able to relate whatsoever. So that's just food for thought.
Experience racism in America. I haven't. That doesn't mean that other people haven't. But I don't have to walk around with my head down, walking around acting like a victim when I haven't had nothing to do with that. And none of the people that I know are racist. I don't know a racist. I've never been around racists. Why do I have to be subject to idea that people are forcing on me just because of the color of my skin? It makes no sense to me.
I give them that.
And then I have a lot of friends who are white. It's not fair that I can have a say and I can talk about my opinions about the American flag. I can give my statements about Black Lives Matter and how ridiculous I believe their organization is. This is America. You have the freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want to say. Why is it that my white friends don't have that same right?
All right, pause. Now, I also am one of those people, I respect the Black Lives Matter movement, but I don't support it. I've said this numerous times. I've had people disrespect me and tell me that I'm not black because I'm Haitian. I was born here, but my ethnicity is Haitian. So I've had a lot of people, part of the Black Lives Matter movement, tell me that I should have no say in black American affairs, even though I was literally raised here my entire life. And at the end of the day, I'm a nigga. And I definitely went through a lot of the shit that any other black person will go through, but that's for a whole nother time. As far as white people being able to talk about Black Lives Matter, okay, let me just tell you this right now. I don't believe anyone should be talking about anything that doesn't truly affect them, point blank period, or their marginalized group, if that makes sense. I'm not about to hop on here and talk about Portuguese people. I'm not about to hop on here and talk about Brazilians. I'm not about to hop on here and talk about anything that doesn't directly affect me or directly affect the people in my group. Why is it that white people always feel like they gotta put their 2 cents into something? Why y'all always gotta add y'all unseasoned meat to a fucking situation? Why? Really don't get it. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. And even if a lot of black people will jump down their throat, I mean, say what you gotta say. It is what it is. Why does it matter to you as a person who wants to speak out so bad that people gonna drop down your throat? It's a free country, right? Because it's not their place. That's the point. It's not their place. We don't comment on their affairs. We don't stick our mouths in their problems. So why is it that when we have an issue, they gotta say something? Why they gotta say something? It's our issue to talk about. Unless they're about to be an ally and like actually rally next to us, unless they're gonna sit there and acknowledge their white privilege, what they need to talk for. What do they need to talk for? Not saying they shouldn't talk, but I'm saying, like, what is there for you to say if those aren't the things that you're going to say? And then on top of that, it's like, okay, even if for whatever reason you do have something to say that's opposing or in the opposing of any movement that's going on, say it. The fuck ain't nobody about to kill you. Like, it is what it is. Say it with your chest. Like,
you say all lives matter, which is true. That includes black lives, ladies and gentlemen. You get fired. They fired a guy who's a commentator, fired him because he said all lives matter in a text message. You are not going to accomplish the goal that you want if you are doing it with hatred and vitriol.
For those of you who don't understand, this is why saying all lives matter is offensive. When the Black Lives Matter movement first started, I definitely have been guilty of tweeting and saying in general, like, all lives matter. Like, what the fuck is y'all talking about? Like, all lives matter. Definitely been guilty of this. But then someone had to sit down and explain to me why it is offensive. So I'm going to tell you guys why it is offensive. All lives matter was never a thing. White lives matter was never a thing. Blue lives matter was never a thing until Black lives matter became a thing. Saying all lives or any other types of lives matter is mocking the Black Lives Matter movement and taking away the attention from the Black Lives Matter hashtag movement, whatever the case may be. When you sit there and say all lives matter, I mean, it's common fucking sense. It's just like when anyone talks, right? Like, if you gonna say something or tell a story and you are referencing a certain type of person or a certain type of place, you're not referring to all, right? It's the same thing with this. It's like okay, we understand all lives matter. We're not saying only black people are the superior race, even though some people do believe that. Even though some people do believe that, okay? We're not saying, oh, black people are superior, fuck the white people, fuck the Hispanics, fuck the Native Americans, fuck the Asians. We're not saying that. We're saying Black lives matter when we are treated equally, when we are treated just as good, just as equal as everyone else, not looked at differently. We should be treated with respect, even though we are black, okay? We should not be discriminated against due to the color of our skin. We should not be given harsher sentences. We should not be discriminated against. We should not be abused. We should not, you know, you get the point. That's the whole point. So when you say all lives matter, it's basically trying to diminish what the Black Lives Matter is. It's basically trying to say that you don't really care. It's basically like a slap in the face to people who are part of the Black Lives Matter movement.
If you were doing it with the idea that you're going to force people to kneel and bow down to you for sins of their ancestors, I don't understand how we've gotten to this point in the United States of America.
There's gonna be a lot of pausing in this video. I hope y'all got y'all snacks. Okay, so I used to think the same thing low-key. It's not even about punishing people for their ancestors. The whole point is a lot of these white people are benefiting from privilege, the land, structure, everything that their ancestors have stolen for them, if that makes sense. They are benefiting from the genocide, the horror, the wars, of all this bullshit that their ancestors have inflicted on black people and other people of color. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, you white devil. For some people it is. Okay, for some people it is. But a lot of these white people do not recognize that they have white privilege. A lot of these white people do not recognize that they have an advantage over everyone else because of their ancestors. So it's not more so of a, oh, we're gonna punish them. It's more so of a situation where it's like, first of all, your ancestors did this to my ancestors, and because they did this to my ancestors, I'm living the life that I'm living now. Would my life be the same if your ancestors didn't do that to my ancestors? The world may never know. So it's one of those type of situations. It's not like, oh my God, white people killed them all. It's definitely not that. Because if black people really wanted to sit there and go on a killing spree, we definitely would. Okay, the whole point is we're trying to basically say that you guys have benefited so long off of what your blatant racist ancestors have done. Now it's time to right that change because you guys have the power to do it. So the power has been in your hands for so long, and it still technically is for the most part. That's basically what's being said. So
how are we letting people do our country like this? They claim that they're protesting the death of one black man who happened to be an extreme criminal. Does that mean he deserved to die? No, it doesn't. The police officer need to be taken to task as well. Yes. But he wasn't a Martin Luther King.
Yo.
He wasn't Jesus Christ. He wasn't many black people that have lost their lives that didn't get arrested and sent to jail 9 times, that didn't do a home invasion where they pulled a gun on a pregnant woman and pistol whipped her, that wasn't high on methamphetamine and fentanyl and resisting arrest at the time of his death. There is plenty of black people who live, who are unjustifiably killed, and they don't even get a t-shirt.
I agree with that part. I'm sorry. It really bothers me that there's so many people that get killed by the police and no one acknowledges them. But George Floyd's death was marginalized so much. Like, celebrities were at his shit. Apparently a lot of his close friends weren't even able to attend his funeral. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I feel like a lot of it was orchestrated. But again, like, to bring about what he said, yeah, like, honestly, there's so many amazing black people who have died, like Breonna Taylor, who wasn't even recognized until George Floyd died, by many people. So it's just really sad. Like, I mean, I'm not saying, like he said, right? I'm not saying, oh my God, he deserved to die. I'm saying it is very interesting that this is what we have put as the face of the movement right now. Very interesting to me. Like, I definitely agree with that part. This is probably the only thing I agree with in terms of what he said wholeheartedly.
They don't get coverage. They don't get a t-shirt.
It's true.
Y'all giving this dude 3 funerals, live broadcasting on television.
That ass.
What for what? And to defend his life in his honor, quote unquote, y'all done killed 9 black people in these riots and protests. Yikes. You have destroyed millions of dollars worth of property that black people own in this protest.
Yup, that's true.
A black retired captain on the police department, 38 years of service, serving his community, serving the black community, serving the police community. has a tremendous reputation. He dies. Y'all don't even talk about him on the news, except Fox News.
That's true.
And then who killed him? It wasn't a police officer. It wasn't the white man. It was another brother who ain't even 30 yet. Done murdered the man. And that brother should have been in prison for a long time because he did an armed robbery. Instead of him doing 7 years in prison, they let him out on probation, which he violated twice. A career criminal killed a good black man, and y'all MIA. Chicago, Illinois, the war zone of the United States of America. Last weekend, 80 plus shootings. 25 black people died. 2 of those black people that I know of, because they ain't gonna never say their names, they don't get no recognition. Just so happened they mentioned 2 of them. 2 18-year-old girls who were aspiring college students.
Damn.
Could have probably made a difference in the community.
That's
they
wild.
dead now.
That's really sad.
Because people don't know how to handle their anger. They out here shooting people and acting a fool, and nobody's holding them accountable. And I don't know if will they catch the people who did this? Are they going to get justice? Probably not. 83% of the homicides are unsolved in Chicago, Illinois. That's one part of one city and one state in the United States of America. And y'all talking about police brutality. Let me give you more stats. In 2019, there was only 9 unarmed black people who were shot by police in 2019. Guess how many were shot in Minneapolis or Minnesota as a state? 1. And just because you're unarmed don't mean you're not a deadly threat. So just for the sake of argument, just say all of them were wrongfully shot. There's 44 million black people in this country. In 2019, 9 of them were shot by police. 7,000 or so of them were killed by other black people. And in the tunes of hundreds of thousands have died from heart disease and other ailments that y'all won't even bring up, and you claim you care about black lives. Let's give you...
He's speaking some bro shit. I might just subscribe. I would like this video though. He's speaking some real shit. I mean, he brought y'all the stats, and I've seen most of these stats as well. So let's keep going.
Few more stats. Chicago, Illinois. Last year in 2019, 192 black people were murdered. How many black people were murdered by police in Chicago in 2019? And I'm counting the people who are unarmed. Because if you got a gun, I don't know what to tell you. Nobody was killed by the police
that I know.
in 2019 in Chicago who were unarmed. Not one black person. 2020, there is already 191 people, black people, that have been murdered this year in Chicago. And they're on pace to double the murder rate from last year. How many police officers have killed a black man in Chicago, Illinois this year? Unarmed. Zero.
Yeah, I know that. Because I looked this up.
Your outrage is not justified. It's not justified at this point. Y'all need to cut it out. All of you social media influencers putting little boxes, media organizations coming out with their little statements. That is not doing anything for black people in America. It's not doing anything. Let me give you solutions.
Before we get into the solutions, I agree with literally 99.9% of everything he said. I do believe that police killing people is definitely an issue, and it's definitely something that needs to be talked about. But I do believe that it is definitely like blown out of proportion to an extent. I feel like the media has played a huge part in fear-mongering and making us believe that shit is a lot worse than what it truly is, and people refuse to look shit up because they're just gonna listen to Twitter and Fox News and ABC and CNBC, whatever. People refuse to research things. I feel like people refuse to look into why they believe into certain things. They just want to be upset. They want somewhere to direct their anger, and a lot of people are very, I've seen this on Twitter. It must be true because it has 1 million retweets, which is seriously an issue. But I agree. I agree. So let's see the solution. Oh, in terms of the whole social media influencers and companies doing something, I don't understand why the companies are now doing something like bitch buy. But in terms of influencers, I feel like when it comes to influencers, a lot of us just feel like we don't want to just start making the regular content we make and not acknowledge what's going on in the world and just like ignore it. Because I talk about black issues all damn day on my channel, but like I literally was going through something. I lost like 3 people in like 1 week or something. Like, I was going through a lot of shit, and I didn't post about a lot of this. And people had the nerve to come at me like, "Oh, you're ignoring George Floyd." It's like, bitch, what? Like, first of all, like, I guess some people just didn't want to go through the whole, "Oh, you're ignoring what's going on in the world," da da da, and didn't want to take attention from what's going on in the world. But I do agree that none of that shit is really going to do much of anything. It's really not.
The solution is you need to stop voting for politicians who put in policies that destroy your community.
This is true.
All of these cities that are riddled with crime, riddled with mass death, mass incarceration, police misconduct, are Democratic-run states, Democratic-run cities.
They are.
Chicago, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri, Baltimore, Maryland.
He's right.
And some of these places are run by all black people. The worst places on earth to be a black man is in Democratic-run cities. If you don't believe me, go look it up.
It's true. I know this. I just found this out. You need to stop voting for people who don't have your best interests at heart. They put on kente cloths and they going around in African garb appropriating culture, and they've been in office for 40 years and ain't done nothing for you. Name something that Nancy Pelosi's done except take a knee for 9 minutes in a hallway for one black man. Name legislation. Pick one. That ass!
They have done nothing.
Yo, that's true though. That's so true.
Nothing. Stop voting for these fools. Second of all, which is most important, I should have made it number 1, you need to hold yourself accountable. Nobody told you to sleep around and not protect yourself. Now you got a kid and you ain't got no job. And now you didn't put yourself at a deficit. Ain't nobody told you.
Woo! Yes! Yo! I like him. Y'all probably mad as hell. Like, oh my God, I like him. I'm subscribing. Hey! Seriously though. Oh my God.
You to do that. The white man didn't have his hand on your back, pushing you when you smashing and dashing. That was all you, bro. Oh, and now you got a kid. You need to make sure you take care of your responsibilities. And I can't leave women out of this. You knew he wasn't nothing when you met him. You knew he'd been in and out of prison his whole time, and now you done had a baby with him thinking he's gonna do something different. Now you're a single mom. And I'm not talking about every single mom situation is that way, but you know who you are.
Yes.
But you blaming everybody else.
Yes.
Nobody told you to smoke weed. Nobody told you to disobey your mom and your grandmama when they were telling you to get an education when you were in school. That's on you. I don't care if they put a bag of crack rock and gave me money and people to sell it to. They dropped it in my front door. I'm not going to sell no drugs to my own people.
Exactly.
I'm not selling drugs to my own people.
I'd rather be
homeless than sell drugs and make money off the backs and death of my own people. And my own people is everybody in America, including black people. That's simple. It's mathematics. When you go around and you're projecting racism on other people, that's why you live a miserable life. That's why every time you see a white person, you're questioning whether or not they're mad at you or not. You don't know what's in these people's head, and you shouldn't even be concerned about that. You should be concerned about succeeding, concerned about how you gonna dominate.
Yup.
And I'm telling you that as a black man in America, the reason why I'm winning is because I'm not sitting around worried about white people. I'm not sitting around trying to guess who is racist and who is not. I don't care. And the racist people in this country gonna end up working for me at some point, because you're gonna stay at the bottom and I'm gonna be at the top.
Okay.
And people are not taking accountability. Build your community. All these football players out here. Oh, black oppression of black and brown bodies. Y'all taking the knee, doing all this stuff. Won't y'all put y'all money together and have a black-owned bank? How about every football player in Oakland come together and share your money in a pool and buy up property and invest in Oakland, California, San Francisco? Why don't y'all put your money together in Chicago? But y'all not gonna do that because you want to buy a Bentley and then you want to get mad at the system. Yikes. How about you pass down generational wealth to your family members? Hey, go take that gold chain back because it looked cool. Take it back because it's not generating any wealth for you. How about you save your money over time? It's a shame that 80% of NFL football players go bankrupt.
Yup. This is real.
Over 80%.
I know that too.
And over 80% of football players are black. Why is that? Riddle me this. It's culture. It's culture. If this country was so racist, then why do African immigrants do much better than black Africans who live here or African Americans who were born and raised in the United States of America? It's culture.
Yikes! I didn't know he was gonna go there. I didn't know he was gonna go there. You know what? I'm gonna save what I gotta say at the end for those parts because it's true. A lot of immigrants in general do very well in America. So,
Culture, ladies and gentlemen. One of the greatest minorities in the United States of America are Asians. Why are they doing better than white people? It's culture, ladies and gentlemen. While you worried about LeBron James and how many three-pointers he's shooting, other people are worried about how to make money and build businesses and build economic wealth. Y'all can't tell me anything about the stock market. You can't tell me anything about investing. You can't tell me the last book you read.
I can.
But you can tell me who's in the Final Four. You can tell me who's going to the Super Bowl. You can tell me the stats of every NBA player, NFL player, and MLB player.
That's true.
But you don't even know where you're going in life.
That's true.
Y'all got all the LeBron James jerseys and Kobe Bryant jerseys, and y'all at the games, and you got season tickets, and you ain't did no investing in your future.
Y'all.
But you want to blame somebody else. Take responsibility for your own actions. Take responsibility for your own life. And white liberals the same way. Stop coming out here virtue signaling. I don't need you to tell me who I am and what my experiences are in America.
Yeah, that.
Everybody, we're individuals. We're not a collective. Just because one black person experienced oppression don't mean every black person does. We're individuals, and we should be treated as such. Just because one black person commit a crime don't mean we all criminals. Just because one police officer does a bad thing doesn't mean that all police officers are bad. You got to operate on individuality. You are individually responsible for your future.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Very
and I'll give you all these facts and you ain't got to pay me for it. Free 99. Take it, share it with somebody else. I'm tired of it, man. This country was founded on good principles and good faith. And some of y'all don't even know the
Hey, I was good. I was. He had me until he talked about that. No, America was founded on lies, genocide, and a whole bunch of bullshit, okay? Immigrants. Okay, immigrants and slaves built this motherfucking country. So we're gonna get into that. Let's finish.
history of this country, and I have to go into it on another video. This country wasn't founded on racism.
Yes, it was.
Slavery was all over the world. It was opportunistic. It was legal.
It was. Slave
trade. You know how slaves came about? They were enslaved in Africa first. So if you want your reparations, go to Africa and talk to Bungundu and them and ask them why they put you in chains and sold you to the white people and the people in South America and people in Asia, sold you all over the world for profit. And you mad at white people exclusively as if they came up with racism or came up with slavery. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Black people own slaves too in this country.
That's true.
Are you mad at them? Are they sellouts, Uncle Tom Coons? They own slaves too. The first legal slave owner was a black man, Anthony Johnson, in the 1600s.
Yeah, I know that.
First legal slave owner. Are you mad at him? Do you want reparations from those black people? Every black person wasn't a slave. Very simple. There were indentured servants in the North. Slavery in the North was illegal. Legal slavery was in the Democratic South, the Democratic Party. Learn your history. We have built this country together. We have overcome adversity of barbaric principles that we now look back on and criticize. We're in the freest place on earth. All of us work together. There ain't no laws against black people. There ain't no law in the book that applies to black people and white people differently. Matter of fact, if you discriminate against somebody criminally, that's a hate crime. It's against the law. We need to stop all this stuff, man. We need to come together. We need to start focusing on individuality. We need to try to better our country in the ways that we can. And for all you cowards out there that don't want to do nothing together and you want to just sit on the sideline and bash everybody and talk about white privilege, just stay on the sideline, man. And for the rest of the people in America, let's build together, let's grow together, and let's make...
There's like 30 seconds left. No one really cares. All right. I actually like this video. I agree with a lot of everything he was saying. He's very, very right. In terms of the whole, like we are individuals, yes and no, because at the end of the day, people always see us as a collective and we are treated as a collective, which is an issue. And I don't like that shit either, but that just happens to be the way it is. That's just how people are. If you have a negative experience, a positive experience, or any type of experience with a group of people, you are going to judge and move around the world or about the world in way of thinking of those types of people as a certain type of way. Is that okay? Absolutely not. However, that's just the way life is, okay? A lot of people, which technically it is true, a lot of the things that black people go through has stemmed from white people. Let's be real. White people created it, we perpetuate it. Okay, so I feel like everyone's to blame. Not gonna get anywhere like pointing fingers at one another, yelling at one another, bitching, complaining. We're not gonna get anywhere, to be quite honest. We're really not. So I believe it is imperative that we all like work together. We all try to look past certain things and acknowledge what's been done, because that's the only way. Like, we have to acknowledge, apologize, and move on, because we can do this shit all day. We've been doing it for years. Let's be real. White people have been saying blacks are this, blacks have been saying whites are this, and then so on and so forth. That's been something that's been going on forever, and I don't think it's ever gonna end until people are able to acknowledge, apologize, and move on. In terms of immigrants doing better, and particularly he said Africans are doing better than blacks, yikes. I know damn well a lot of black people were clutching their pearls. Honestly, that is kind of true. And yeah, that is with culture. A lot of African people are raised completely different from African Americans. That deals with, that's the same as Caribbeans as well. The work ethic is different. The priorities are different. Now, I agree with mostly everything he was saying. I'm not about to be out here rocking the American flag, talk about some we shall overcome and be like, yeah, this is America. Hey, listen, this country ain't shit, and it was definitely founded on lies and racism and all types of shit. Therefore, I'm gonna keep that energy where it is, but he definitely was right about Africans being slaves in Africa, and black people did own slaves as well. So, I mean, yeah, I'm still not about to disregard the fact that a lot of us are oppressed, okay? I hold true to that. A lot of us are oppressed, and a lot of us do go through things. And again, like I referenced in the beginning, yeah, not all black people are the same. Therefore, you can't really blame too many black people for having the mindsets that they do. That's why I try to be a little bit less, you know, judgmental when it comes to certain shit, because it's like, I understand not everyone is me, but then at the same time, it's like, nigga, like, you need to get it together. Like, it's like one of those things where it's like, you know how you have a friend where it's like, bitch, I know you're not no bum, I know you're not stupid, but at the same time, it's like, bitch, I know that you've been through this. I know you've been assaulted. I know, you know? So it's like, it's a tug of war type of situation. With that being said, that's it for this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that. And I'm going to see y'all next time.